What is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to episode 50 of the Pentagon Challenge. First things first, huge thank you for 50 episodes. Your support, guys, has been absolutely insane over kind of the last 50 episodes, over the last 5 months of my channel being in existence, and particularly in the last month, especially over May. You guys have been going absolutely mental on my videos. Like, in terms of the views and stuff, they've doubled monthly. What I got in April doubled in May, which is superb. Long may it continue. It's so much kind of motivation to have people watching your videos. You know, it gives me an incentive to do more, and your support is unbelievably appreciated, guys. So first things first, massive thank you for that. Today won't be a special episode, and the reason for that being is there really isn't that much to cover because it is the end of the season. So I'm just going to be doing the end of the season, last few games, and then the pre-season stuff for you guys. So apologies for that. What I'm planning to do is in the future, when I hit a stage whereby it's worth doing a longer episode, where there's an opportunity that arises for a long episode, I'll do a long episode for you guys then. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. Apologies for that if you were kind of hoping for something longer. But anyway, today we have the final 5 games of the season to, I guess, review, so I'll hop on and go straight into those. As you can see, last 5 games, 4 wins and 1 draw, so not too shabby. We started things off with a good win, 2-0 away win against Richard. Pretty much continuing in the same vein of form we've had since the winter break, winning the majority of our games fairly well, you know, really kind of putting in high levels performances. This game we completely dominated. Squad's been keeping fit. I have had a few injuries to contend with. Obviously, players picking up a lot of knocks. I kind of expressed last episode how I was kind of risking players' kind of fitnesses and, you know, playing them when perhaps they shouldn't be playing because I needed to grind out results. In the end, we did. We have kind of suffered a few injuries. Dedovic at the centre-back position got injured and missed the last 4 games of the year, which is a little bit hard to take, but and as you can see here, Fon's taken a knock, but he had to play through it. But we got the win there. Good 2-0 win. But one of those things, I suppose, risk equals reward. Risking some players' fitnesses, and it comes good for us. Anyway, next game was the 2-2 draw against Horsering. I can't say that name. Horsering? That sounds right. We'll go with it. This game, superb fight back by the team again. I've kind of talked, and I'll say it again, and, you know, I don't know what it is about this series, but every team I've come to has had that fight. Be that because I just have a tendency to sign determined players, I'm not sure. But this game, you know, we came back from 2-0 down to draw the game absolutely superbly. The team played absolutely amazingly. I'm going to switch to TV view here. But no, the team played absolutely insanely, to be honest. We turned up in the second half. I was a little bit worried after the first half. Obviously, I'm not going to show the league table until the end of the season just to build up that little bit of tension, but we needed to win every game to guarantee ourselves the league title. It was just the way the season looked. We were 4 points clear with 5 games left, but one of the teams behind us had a game in hand, and so anything less than a win in any game could cost us dearly. But anyway, this was a great kind of comeback. They got the 2 goals, as you can see, after 35 minutes, and it was up to us to salvage something from the game. Got a good goal there by Bartram from the set piece, and then straight back to the penalty spot. Obviously, that goal gave us some superb kind of hope, I guess, 1 minute into the second half, and then Nassar in the 91st minute came absolutely huge for us and got us a vital point, appearing late on the back post, securing us the point. Fantastic stuff there. On the following this, we had a game against Naisveld, or Naisved. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. We'll go with it. But as you can see here, 2-2, convincing win, good away performance, and an important win. Then going into our last 2 games, we had Naisby and Fisted. We got a good 2-0 win, as you can see here. Nassar grabbing a goal and Dethelsden grabbing another. Again, we turned up, we were the better side, we played well. And it's dawned on me that on the fixture screen you can actually see where I finished in the league. So if you are really observant, you'll know where I finished. If not, you might want to open up the tab and start watching the video properly. Oh, he's calling you out. Jack is calling out his viewers. Unsub Woody. If anyone watches any other gaming videos, you'll know what I'm on about when I say unsub Woody. But anyway, good performance here. Counter-attack here on this second goal. Again, the pace of our strike force kind of been an influential factor, but we just break so quickly here. The physical stats, threading it forward again and again. And we get so many men up in support. I mean, look, there's 5 players in the box there, and eventually it just falls to the feet of Defelston, who gets the goal on the turn. The advantages of playing, I suppose, with a very aggressive formation there to see right then. And then in the last game of the season, we didn't actually have anything relying on this game, but we got the 1-0 win. Good performance in the end. And all those results meant that we finished first in the league and got a very, very good kind of championship under our belt, I suppose. Obviously, we beat the likes of Fisted, Naseby, Horsering and Natesved. We'll go with Natesved. It doesn't sound right, but who knows. We got results against them in the last 5. It was going to be tough, but the team played absolutely amazingly. Looking at how many goals we scored 63 goals, which is the second most in the league, and we had the second best defence. And I suppose those two things combined were what ultimately saw us kind of come out on top in the league. Only 4 defeats across the season, which is pretty impressive. We also set a record for the most number of consecutive wins and the longest time unbeaten in the league, which was nice to see. Going 10 games at the end of the year unbeaten, which was good. So there was that. That was certainly a factor which I was very happy with. So looking forward to the future, I don't really know if I'm going to be able to bring anyone in. The finances at the club are not looking great. As you can see here, 74 million. I wish I had 74 million. We're minus 74k. Which it's not ideal, but it's one of these things where I am just going to have to deal with it, I suppose, and try and make the most of a bad situation as best as I can. I'm hoping with us going up in the league, I can bring in maybe a few new faces, but at the same time keep expenditures low, and so kind of we look good, I suppose, because I don't know, the finances, they're looking rocky. I'm hoping, obviously we've lost a lot of money this year. I'm hoping I don't need to sell players in order to cover that, because I really don't have the players to sell. So I don't know. Well, I'm gonna have to see what I can do in pre-season, see how much the board give me in terms of a transfer budget, if they'll even give me one, and kind of take things from there. But anyway, guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to skip to pre-season. Those last 5 games, good performances, but now we have to look forward to the league. So, gonna skip forward, and I'll talk to you guys in a second. Okay, guys, so we're back, and it's July the 24th. So, pre-season is over and done with. Overall, not too bad of a pre-season. A few things to talk about tactically, I suppose, and with the overall squad. But first things first, a quick look at the pre-season results and stuff that we managed to get. We only had 3 friendlies, and in fact we've got another friendly for some reason slotted in between our first and second league game. But three decent results. A 3-1 against AB, who are a decent side, who are in the same division as us, so that was a nice little win. And we also got a 5-3 win against Kullenborg, who are a Danish non-league team, as well as a 2-1 defeat against Finn, who I believe are in our League 2. Yes, they are. So we're now in the first division, which is the second tier of Danish football. Looking at the league, pretty kind of, I want to say there's some big names, but I don't recognise any of the names, quite frankly. But it's going to be a tough one for us. Looking at the finances quickly, we did get an increase in the wage budget by about £2,000, which is quite nice. But again, we're projected to lose money, like a lot of money. So I'm a bit confused about that. That said, I have had to kind of use as much of the transfer budget as possible, just to really kind of strengthen the squad. That said, there's really not been that many players available, which is a little bit disappointing. But quick look at the kind of outs, I suppose, and the ins and outs, and I'll talk a bit more about this. Nissen went out on a free. He was on an amateur deal, so he just chose to leave the club and walked away, which is fine by me. Third choice keeper in the end, and didn't really do anything. And Niels Moller has gone to Naseby, which is another transfer out, I suppose. On the ends, not too much to tell you about, because there really hasn't been the players for me to find. We have Hugard here, who's a decent little youth prospect, potentially. We have Banis Christian, who is a really decent right-back. However, he will actually be playing defensive midfielder for us. His real kind of pacey attributes were what brought him to my attention. 16 determination as well as good, and he has decent teamwork and work rate. So kind of a few good things to look for in players, especially in lower tiers. Division kind of the lower divisions, you want to be looking determination, teamwork, work rate, acceleration, pace, and natural fitness. And then the other player was Mark Lumby, who's just another decent little left back. I think he's got something about him. My assistant really doesn't rate him, but I think he's going to offer some coverage in the left back position. So, basically what that means for the squad is it really hasn't changed too much since last year. Still, a number of the players in the squad are rated very highly by my assistant. Going to be interesting to see how they perform. Obviously, with us going up in the division this year, I kind of need to change up my game system. Last year, we played 4-2-3-1. This year, I've elected to remove the centre attacking mid and play with an anchor man. Obviously, Banis came in and he's kind of filled the void. Last year, I couldn't really ever play with an anchor man or a defensive midfielder just because I didn't have anyone there who could play that position. So having Banis here is quite a nice little signing. And he's got the decent stats as well to go with it. And he's 28, so compared to a lot of the squad who are fairly old, he's not too shabby. I have been trying to bring in young players, but really there aren't any I can realistically attract. It's a little bit frustrating, to be honest, because we have got a very old squad. I've managed to retain, obviously, the services of a lot of the key players from last year. The anchorman, really, that I've added is going to just simply give us a bit more coverage, and we're going to not be as attacking this year. You know, we are going to be looking for counter-attacks at times and really trying to, hit teams on the counter, hit teams on the break, and basically change our system because we can't go all out attack. You know, we've got to be wary of the counter, and it's going to be a tough one, for us to contend with. So that's that. Looking at the finances, as you saw, they were terrible, so it's a little bit of a worry. I am keeping my eye out for jobs that are available, just on the off chance that something comes up that catches my eye, because the finances could be a very crippling problem here. It's like it could be bad. Unless I get a sugar daddy in, which isn't going to happen, or a board takeover happens, we're going to struggle financially, because despite the wage budget they're giving me, I don't think I'm anywhere near over it. In fact, I'm not even anywhere near it. I'm spending £3,500 a week as opposed to £5,000, and yet we're set to lose a lot of money, which really means I can't afford to bring anyone in. As you can see, I'm looking for a centre-back to partner Dedovic because our defence is pretty weak, and there isn't anyone there, which is a bit annoying to say, but I've kind of almost conceded defeat on that front in terms of bringing in a centre-back just because I can't find one. So that's a little bit of a concern, I suppose. Looking forward, I don't know where we're going to finish again. I talked about this. One of the kind of hard things about the Pentagon and when you're going through leagues which you're really not familiar with is knowing what the standard of player is. I mean, if we look at the league last year, if I just bring it up here and then we go back a season, is that Silkeborg, IF, they obviously they won the league. And then if you look at their kind of best players, if I just go to contract, we'll go off most valuable, although that isn't really the best sign of the best players. This guy's a very good player, this guy, Puri. I don't feel as if we're going to be able to contend and ever attract players quite as good as these ones. So it's a tough situation to be in. I'm going to be looking for an opportunity. That said, I'd like to slug it out here for as long as possible, but if something catches my eye, it's going to have to be a decision which I consider doing, I suppose. I was kind of hoping over the summer we'd make a bit more money back than we did, but we're still in the red and it's not looking good for us, I've got to be honest. So yeah, I'm not really sure what to anticipate this year. Viborg, who are our parent club, they've terminated our link because we've now been promoted, so that's another source of income and potential loanees, extinguished from the side, which is another disappointing thing that's kind of come as a result of us getting promoted. So yeah, there's not really a lot to tell you about, to be honest, guys. It's just one of these situations where I've not been able to change very much in terms of the system and the players that I've brought in. I need more players in, but I can't get any more in. It's kind of that brick wall situation where I am now realistically having to think maybe it's time to move on. Obviously, I've been here a year and we did get promoted, which is fantastic. It kind of adds to my profile. It adds to what I've done in terms of experience. You know, it gives me a little bit of European glory, be it in the Danish third tier, which really isn't that impressive.